Diving in Antarctica is really something special. It is dark and dangerous, but it is fascinating. The real excitement about exploring under the iceberg scour is the intrigue, the remarkable fact that you're seeing things that you can be relatively certain only a few, if any, humans have ever seen. It's an incredibly rare ecosystem that we get to observe in the Southern Ocean. Hey, I'm James Hyde. I'm an undersea specialist with Lindblad Expeditions and National Geographic. Growing up on Vashon Island, we were always outside. No bridges, ferry boat access only, with lots and lots of parks and acres to roam. Being surrounded by the cold and productive waters of the Salish Sea, I was always interested in what was happening underneath, but having only cold water to dive in meant that by the time I finished all of the certifications, I was in the few and the chilly elite of cold water diving. The temperatures we deal with in the Southern Ocean in Antarctica range from several degrees above freezing to actually several degrees below. Because of the salt content of the water there, it actually freezes at a lower temperature, about 28.5 Fahrenheit. Getting geared up to dive in Antarctica is a long process. Generally, you wear a thermal underlayer, perhaps even a battery-powered heated undergarment. All goes underneath a big puffy onesie designed just for diving. And under all of this is your layers of chemical heat packs that you place on different vital parts of your body. Finally, you zip into a dry suit, which is an airtight one-piece, incredibly expensive trash bag that holds air against your body. Dry suits have a latex seal that goes around your neck and wrists. We clip on gloves that keep our hands dry, but our poor face, of course, gets wet. So we insulate that with 10 millimeters of neoprene hood, our dive mask, of course, and specially designed regulators for these cold waters. While the waters of Antarctica look dark and desolate from above, underneath it's vibrant, colorful, beautiful. It's a very rich ecosystem. There's lots and lots of nutrients being recycled there. Ice scour is an environmental force that doesn't happen very many places on Earth. In Antarctica, large, heavy, crushing blocks of ice scrape along the bottom. They obliterate life down there and leave this sort of clean slate for perhaps 10 meters or 30 feet down. So there's this almost desert of rock down the slope with maybe some algae growing in the cracks. Once we get below that depth, that's when we start to see all of this encrusting life, these sponges, different colored algae and tunicates, all animals and protists covering the bottom and hiding just below keel depth of these icebergs. It's not exactly a common experience, but one of my favorite animals to encounter underwater in Antarctica is penguins. They're wary of things, especially animals underwater. That's where their predators live. But for whatever reason, sometimes I'll just be surrounded by swimming penguins. It's a very cool experience. It seems like the more time that I spend in and around and taking part in the oceans, the more it informs and shapes my own ethic. It's a curious fact that we have in our blood the same percentage salt as does the ocean. It is inside all of us and informs more and more the way I live my life, whether it's being a community organizer for a plastic-free beach, whether it's helping people understand locally or abroad how much our health as a species and a planet is tied to our oceans.